In the previous videos, we studied about the drift velocity and the relation of drift velocity with various other parameters like current density. In this video, we'll study about drift velocity and an entity called a parameter called relaxation time. Now, in the absence of battery, we already studied when we are studying about drift velocity, we knew that in the absence of battery, inside any conductor, there will be some free electrons which will absorb heat from the surroundings and will start moving in random directions. We also studied that while moving in random directions, the velocity vector of each of the electron is cancelled by some other electron having opposite velocity vector. So we can say that the thermal speed, let us say that this speed due to heat is called thermal speed. So the thermal speed, the average thermal speed average for n number of electrons in a conductor is 0 because of the random motion. So the velocity vector of say this electron will be cancelled by the velocity vector of this electron because both of them are in opposite direction, and if both of them are having equal velocity, then the resultant of these two velocities of these two electrons will be 0, and similarly all other velocity vectors also get cancelled. So because of this, we can say that the average thermal speed, let us denoted by U. So Ui, where I is from 1 to n, this will denote the number of electrons in a given conductor, and the summation of all these velocities will be equal to 0. But if battery is connected here, then all of these electrons will start moving in the same direction. The direction of electrons will be in this way, from negative to positive terminal, because of the force, as we studied, because of the force equal to E into the electric field. Because of this battery, an electric field is generated, it is established across the conductor, and due to this, each electron experience a force equal to E into E. So this force makes the electrons move in this direction. And as we have already studied that in the direction of current, we take the direction as positive. So we know that the electrons move in the direction opposite to the current. So we will use that this force, we will use the minus sign, will be equal to E into E. And by applying second law of Newton, we can find out the acceleration of electron, average acceleration of electrons. This will be equal to minus E into E upon mass of electrons. So at any instant t, every electron will have these two kinds of velocity, one due to thermal velocity and one due to this, due to the battery. So every electron will have this velocity, which can be given by the first equation of motion, V equals to U plus AT, where V is the velocity of the electron, U is the thermal velocity of the electron, A is this acceleration that we just calculated, and the time t. So this can be written as for any ith electron, let us say for any ith electron, Vi will be equal to Ui plus into Ti, where Vi is the velocity of ith electron after time Ti, and this time Ti is called relaxation time. Now remember that this relaxation time is always the average. Now what does this actually mean? We already studied that about when we were studying about drift velocity, that when an electron moves from this point to this point, it will not move in a straight line, it will move in random direction. It will keep changing the direction of its path because of the collision. So relaxation time is the time between any two successive collisions. So let us say that the electron started from here, it went till this point in a straight line, but here it suffered a collision. Due to this collision, it changed its direction and it came in this way, and here it again suffered a collision. Now the time taken to cover this path from this point to this point, this time taken is called relaxation time. So as the name suggests, it is a relaxation from collisions. So between any two successive collisions, so we can write here relaxation time is the time between any two successive collisions. Now it is practically not possible to find out the relaxation time of each individual electron, so we always take an average. So this Ti that we defined here is the average relaxation time. So when I say relaxation time, it is automatically implied that we are talking about average relaxation time. So it is the time between any two successful collisions. So now that we have understood about relaxation time, we can establish a relation between this relaxation time and the drift velocity. Now the drift velocity is the average velocity of all the electrons. We have already studied that the drift velocity is the average velocity of all the electrons. So for ith electron, this is the velocity. So we can, by generalizing, we can say that the velocity of first electron is v1, velocity of second electron is v2, and so on. So we will get this expression. And since drift velocity is the average velocity, so this term, this entire numerator will be divided by the total number of electrons. Let us say there are n number of electrons, capital N number of electrons. Now using this expression, we can say that Vd will be equal to average thermal velocity. So it will be Ui, where I is from 1 to n, divided by the total number of electrons, plus minus E upon m, multiplied by the relaxation time. Now this is also an average, so it will be written as divided by n for n number of electrons. Now this is 0, as we have already established. So our drift velocity will be given by the term this multiplied by the average relaxation time. So this we denote with the symbol tau, and in vector form, this is how it will be written. So this is the relation between relaxation time and drift velocity. Now similarly, by using now that we have this relation, we can also write the relation with current. So current I, we have already studied this formula, that I equals to NEA Vd into the relaxation time. So if we substitute this value of Vd here, this will not be here. I equals to NEA Vd, we have already done this formula. Now substituting the value of Vd, then tau will come. So it will be equal to E into E upon M. Now we are ignoring the minus sign here because it was because the direction of flow of electron was opposite to the direction of current. But since we are talking about the current here only, so the direction will be in the direction of current. So it will become positive, the minus sign will be removed. So we are not writing any minus sign here. So the current will be equal to NE square A E upon M into tau. So this will be the relation between the current and relaxation time. And similarly, now that we have the relation between current and time, we can find the relation between current density and tau. So current density J is equal to I upon A, substituting the value of this here. So it will be equal to NE square E upon M into tau. So this will be the relation between current density and the relaxation time.